Hi, Dr. Tom Lewis here with RealHealth Innovations, and today's workshop is on supplements in general and supplements that are really great for heart health. Just a little caveat on RealHealth and supplements. We believe you can get most of your nutrients from food, but a lot of folks who are trying to get healthy, who are struggling with their health, will get a little extra added benefit from certain supplements to improve their health. And then over the course of time, we'd like to educate people on how they can wean themselves from supplements and get those same nutrients that they're getting from the supplements from whole foods. However, there are issues out there with the food supply. And here's a poignant example from my own home. Here is a farm fresh, grade A, cage-free chicken egg. And look at the color of the yolk. And then here's a picture of some of the hens we have in our backyard. And here's the yolk from those chickens. And it's pretty clear to see that the richness, the orangeness of this, we have much more choline, we have much more nutrient density in this egg compared to this egg. So we do have an issue with the food supply, which potentially means that the way to keep yourself healthy is to augment your health with supplementation. There's a clear difference in the quality of this food. So of course the take-home lesson from that is to buy from your local farmer's market, organic foods. I know it's more expensive, but believe me, unhealthy is extraordinarily inexpensive. But let's look at, we're really focused on cardiovascular health, and America has a bit of a crisis going on. So if we look at this little chart here, I'm looking at coronary heart disease mortalities per 100,000, and America is around 78 people dying per 100,000, whereas Korea, France, and Japan are around 30 or less. So from a cardiovascular disease perspective, we're 2.5 to 3 times worse than these other nations. So what are these other nations doing? They must be doing something right. And here we are tied with Mexico, Colombia, Central Africa, Belize, where we're not a healthy people, particularly when it comes to heart health. Because we've been hung up on the cholesterol theory of cardiovascular disease, but the real issue, these are images and we're seeing these calcifications, and what's really going on is we're taking in too much calcium, or we're not managing the calcium in our system well. We have calcium, what's called dysbiosis, and we have calcium deposits we're leading to occlusions or narrowing of our vessels. And that's a bad thing. It can lead to clotting, it can lead to strokes, it can lead to heart attacks. So it's something we really, at RealHealth Innovations, work to help you reverse this process, because it is reversible now that we understand what it is, calcification, buildup of calcium. So vitamin D increases calcium absorption. So the first phase of having a healthy heart, because calcium is involved in every heartbeat, healthy bones, and a healthy body, is having nutrients like calcium. So I don't want to demonize calcium. It's critically important. But we have to have the cofactor, vitamin D, which increases the absorption. Okay, so it's extremely important. The next thing that's missing in a lot of us, or a lot of us are deficient, if we're getting some, we're not getting sufficient amount, is magnesium. And where is magnesium? It's found at the core of all green vegetables. So we're not getting enough green vegetables, and we need magnesium. What does magnesium do? Magnesium controls the electricity to our heart circuit, but it also is involved at being a chaperone, a buddy, if you will, for calcium. So magnesium, once calcium's absorbed with the help of vitamin D, magnesium shuttles calcium around in our vessels. Extraordinarily important. It mobilizes, if you will, the calcium that might be sitting in our soft tissue. And the next thing is vitamin K2, a not well appreciated vitamin, but it's available in marine foods. It's also heavily endowed in fatty cheeses and other fatty-based foods, because it's a fat-soluble vitamin. So the calcium, the vitamin K2 paradox talks about its interaction with calcium, and what K2 literally does is it takes calcium out of the soft tissue and remobilizes it so that magnesium can then put the calcium where it belongs when it's in excess in our storage vessel for calcium, which is called our bones. So when you look at the French being extraordinarily healthy with low heart disease, their food choices are very much skewed towards foods that are high in K2, as are the Japanese and Korean eating a lot of marine foods. So cod liver oil is a supplement that we use a lot, and it's extraordinarily good for heart health because the main mechanism that this calcification process creates and other processes that lead to heart disease is inflammation. And cod liver oil is extraordinarily good at reducing inflammation in the vessel. So there's a lot of good things to be said about cod liver oil. It's fish oil with extra nutrients, vitamin K, vitamin D, and vitamin A, which is really supports our immune system and reduces inflammation. So the Framingham Heart Study, we're spending too much time focused on total cholesterol and LDL. We really need to be focused on excess triglycerides. So elevated triglycerides and the HDL being low. HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, it's really just a transport mechanism, but that is increased with fish oils and marine oils and exercise. And your triglycerides come down through exercise and trying to eliminate or reduce carbohydrate intake. So very important to heart health. So let's just have a little summary here. Calcium is the main thing we're focused on. It's critically important to health, but most of us get too much from diet. And in fact, study after study show that people who supplement with calcium don't see a big gain in bone density, but they do see a big gain, unfortunately, in heart attack and stroke events. Calcium needs certain nutrients to get into our bones called cofactors. These include vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K2. Strontium I didn't talk about, but you can get that from sea salt, and the omega-3 fatty acids like cod liver oil that reduces inflammation. K2 is particularly important at moving calcium from the soft tissue, our vessels, our vascular tissue, into bone. Certain drugs like prednisone, the steroids, the blood thinners pull calcium out of our bones and literally deliver it into the soft tissue, a big problem. So increasing calcium absorption in the bone by obtaining key cofactors in your diet or by supplementation, it's a win-win because it improves the integrity of your bone and it reduces this calcification that happens in vessels and sets you up for heart disease. So it's all about heart health. Obviously exercise is a big part of that, but the nutrients you take in is arguably more important than the exercise itself. So that's our workshop on heart health supplements, cod liver oil, vitamin K2, magnesium, vitamin D, all critical to vascular health, heart health, and longevity. Dr. Tom Lewis, thanks very much.